Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we discuss about an important topic, create a city. Setting also plays a crucial role in the appeal of certain kinds of genre fiction. The American detective story of the 1940s would not be nearly so popular if it weren't for gritty urban setting. In the following extracts, Raymond Chandler's detective anti-hero Philip Marlowe is waiting in a hotel. At 11 o'clock, I was sitting in the third booth on the right hand side as you go in the form, the dining room annex. I had my back against the wall and I could see anyone who came in or went out. It was a clear morning, no smoke, no high fog, even and the sun dazzled the surface of the swimming pool, which began just outside the plate glass wall of the bar and stretched to the far end of the dining room. A girl in a white sharkskin suit and a luscious figure was climbing the ladder to the high board. I watched the band of the white that showed between the tan of her tights and the suit. I watched it keenly. Then she was out of sight, cut off by the deep overhang of the roof. A moment later, I saw her flash down in the 1.5 spray come high enough to catch the sun and make rainbows that were almost as pretty as the girl. Then she came up the ladder and unstrapped her white helmet and shook her bleached job loose. She whopped her bottom over to a small white table and sat down beside a lumberjack in white trail paints and dark glasses and a tan so evenly dark that he couldn't have been anything but the hired man around the pool. He reached over and patted her thigh. She opened a mouth like a fire bucket and laughed. That terminated my interest in her. I couldn't hear the laugh, but the hole in her face where she unzipped her teeth was all I needed. The bar was pretty empty. Three booths down, a couple of sharpies were selling each other pieces of 20th century folks, using double arm gestures instead of money. They had a telephone on the table between them, and every 2 or 3 minutes they would play the match game to see who called Zanuck with a hot idea. They were young, dark, eager, and full of vitality. They put as much muscular activity into a telephone conversation as I would put into carrying a fat man up 4 flights of stairs. There were a sad fellow over on a bar stool talking to the bartender who was polishing a glass and listening with that plastic smile people wear when they are trying not to scream. The customer was middle aged, handsomely dressed, and drunk. He wanted to talk and he couldn't have stopped even if he hadn't really wanted to talk. He was polite and friendly, and when I heard him, he didn't seem to slur his words much, but you know that he got up on the bottle and only let go if it when he fell asleep at night. He would be like that for the rest of his life, and that was what his life was. You would never know how he got that way because even if he told you, it would not be the truth. At the very best, a distorted memory of the truth as he knew it. There is a sad man like that in every quiet bar in the world. Just a Raymond Chandler could be said to have invented an urban verse which we still recognize today. The American writer Anime Flux sets many of her books in a strictly original version of rural America. As you read the following extracts, note how her use of odd vocabulary and unlikely names helps to give her writing its flavor. You may find a few of the terms may satisfying. Don't worry about that too much. It just adds to the experience. The country appears as empty ground, big sagebrush, rabbit birds, intricate sky, flocks of small birds like packs of cards thrown up in the air, and the faint tracks drifting towards the red-veiled horizon. Graves were unmarked, fallen house timbers, and corals burned up in old campfires. Nothing much but weather and distance. Distance punctuated once in a while by ranch gates, and to the north the endless murmur and the sun flush of the semis rolling along the interstables.